Atheists like to make fun of religious people by saying things like, "You are so stupid that you believe in a sky daddy." But no person is actually that stupid. When a religious person involves in things like prayers, meditation, chanting, music, and dancing, they are actually trying to increase their capacity to perceive the divine being, to perceive the divinity, to perceive God, to perceive spirit. I don't care if you're an atheist or a religious guy or an agnostic person, but a sustained effort in order to develop your capacity to perceive other things than just this material existence is going to give you a lot of benefits in your life. It is actually going to heal your panic attacks. You might think like I'm making a ridiculous claim, but this has been proven by yogis for thousands of years. When they developed a practice of meditation, when they developed a habit of using their attention wisely, using their imagination wisely, they could upgrade their state of mind. They could upgrade their state of consciousness. And when you upgrade your state of mind, do you really think anxiety, panic attacks, worry, concern are going to stay in your body? No. Because right now, if you just close your eyes and just allow your mind to do whatever it wants, what you're going to find is your attention is either going to go into the past traumatic event or a future anticipatory event, which is the worst possible case scenario for you. That means your attention is not properly trained. But if you make a sustained effort to train your attention to be centered at the present moment, if you train your attention to be kept at an imaginal act that brings you happiness, then you're actually gaining some sort of freedom in your life. Imagine instead of your attention going to some past traumatic event, you can hold your attention on an imaginal act that you're dating a girl, you're kissing her, and that girl is saying to you things like, "Oh, you're so calm, you're so peaceful, you're so relaxed. Please do not go anywhere. You're the most amazing man that I have ever seen." Instead of your mind going here and there and showing monkey like characteristics, imagine that your attention is being kept at an imaginal act where you are waking up in the morning and you just have a big smile on your face and you're saying to yourself in this imaginal act, "Wow, I no longer have panic attacks." Isn't that imaginal scene going to bring you happiness? If all the senses are involved in such imaginal act, if you can actually feel these kinds of imaginal act vividly, then that is going to bring you a lot of happiness. That is going to bring you a lot of joy and gratitude. This is what actually matters. The wonderful use of human imagination can give you a lot of freedom. But people do not realize this. Neville Goddard, a very prominent spiritual leader of 20th century, said, "Imagination creates reality." But your imagination right now is weak. But if you can involve all the sensory vividness in your imaginal act, and you can hold your attention on the desired imaginal act, then it is going to give you a lot of feelings of elevated emotions, of joy, gratitude, empowerment. And the best part is, just like Neville Goddard said, whatever you imagine will become reality because you have felt feelings from it. An imaginal act without any feelings is just wishful daydreaming. But if you can combine imaginal act with the elevated emotions of joy, gratitude, empowerment, this imaginal act will actually materialize into existence. So if you want your friends and family to stop worrying about you, if you want your friends and family to start asking you questions like, "John, how did you become so peaceful and relaxed all of a sudden?" If you want to completely quit your therapy sessions and anxiety pills, then you must train your attention. You must You must be able to involve all the sensory vividness to the desired imaginal act. And all the happiness, all the wonderful things will start to come towards you in your life. The other thing that I must tell you is that this physical universe that you can see in your three-dimensional world of experience, your personal world, is an illusion. We do not have one world, we have 8 billion world. And my personal world is an illusion. It is a maya, as yogis have been calling it. It is a magical lie. My personal world is just an extension of my own mind. If my mind is bad, my personal world will be bad. I will be a magnet for all the terrible, tragic circumstances. But if you learn how to change the program of your mind, if you learn how to change the state of mind and to make it absolutely positive and wonderful, then your personal world will change as well. All the tragic circumstances will start to fall off, and you will be attracting wonderful, amazing circumstances. So, the first thing that you must do in order to completely change your life, in order to gain freedom from panic attack, is to learn how to do Yoga Nidra. People like Dr. Andrew Huberman have been calling Yoga Nidra as non-sleep deep rest protocol. What you're doing in Yoga Nidra is you're closing your eyes and you're using your attention over and over your body parts one by one until you achieve a state of sleepiness or a relaxation. This will actually change your brain waves. Right now, when you're watching me on a phone, you're producing beta waves in your brain. When your brain is super stressed due to anxiety, panic attacks, worries, concern, your brain waves will be high beta waves. But during Yoga Nidra, your brain will be producing alpha waves and theta waves. Alpha waves helps your brain to visualize things easily. And theta waves helps your brain to become very suggestible. In fact, the door between the conscious mind and the subconscious mind is wide open when your brain is producing theta waves. A child, before he reaches the age of 8 or 9, is just producing theta waves. This is the reason why he is programmed by the age of 7, because in these theta waves he observes the behavior of his parents. He learns the emotional patterns of his family members, of his societal members. He gains the limiting belief from his society, from his parents, from his schooling. He is programmed by the society by the age of 7. Then he grows up to be a common member of the society. And then he becomes sick, because everyone in this society is sick. So do not blame yourself for having anxiety, worry, panic attacks. You were programmed when you were a child. But right now, you have an opportunity to reprogram your subconscious mind, to recreate this theta brainwaves pattern and write a new program in your subconscious mind. Now, when you do Yoga Nidra properly, what you're going to do now to change the program in your subconscious mind is start to visualize an imaginal act that indicates the fulfillment of your desire. You want to live a life free from panic attacks, so start to imagine the things that you would do, the things that you would see, things that you would hear, things that you would smell and taste and touch and feel once you're completely free from panic attacks. So maybe you can imagine that you're going to bed at night and you're looking at your watch, that it's 11 p.m., indicating that it is actually the bedtime. And you just have a big smile on your face and you're saying to yourself, wow, I did not have a single anxious thought in my head today. If you can feel the realness of this imaginal act, then you are going to feel amazing feelings. The mental rehearsal of this imaginal act, due to sustained attention on this imaginal act, is going to create all the wonderful feelings in your body. The positive feelings of joy, gratitude, empowerment, confidence are going to get in your body simply because you can hold your attention on this amazing imaginal act. And these feelings are going to breathe life into your imaginal scenario. What you must understand is imaginal act that you are going to perform in this meditation is like sending an electrical charge to the source energy or the divinity that is present within you. Because we all have divinity within us. The kingdom of heaven lies inside of you. In fact, a very respected scientific journal has said that this universe is entirely spiritual. There is nothing material in this universe. Everything is a manifestation of that spirit, of that divine spirit, of that source energy. You are a manifestation of that source energy. So you can find everything within: health, wealth, happiness, love, freedom from panic attacks. Everything is within you. So, imaginal act is like sending an electrical charge to the source energy, and feelings that you embrace through this imaginal act is like sending a magnetic charge to the source energy. Now, the source energy knows what you want, and it is compelled to give what you want as well. Now, you become a magnet for all the freedom that you want. You will start to move across one event after another, and suddenly everything that you have visualized will actually happen in your three-dimensional world of experience, and you'll just scratch your head and say to yourself, why did I not find this amazing principle 2 years ago or 5 years ago? Because that happened to me as well. 4 years ago, when I was training to become a doctor in medical school in Nepal, I got afflicted with panic attacks and anxiety. But I knew that therapy and anxiety pills are not going to treat the root cause of problems. So I decided to study human consciousness, the power of human mind, the power of imagination. I studied a lot of spiritual mentors from the East. I studied people like Neville Goddard and Joe Dispenza from the West. I learned a lot of manifestation secrets. I learned a lot of spiritual principles. And that's how I healed my panic attacks in just 5 months. And when I was starting out, I could not sit still for even 1 minute. I thought panic attack within me is just going to consume me, or some force outside of me is just going to kill me if I sit still for even 30 seconds. So if you can just sit still for 30 seconds, you're actually doing better than me, and you can heal faster than me. You just need to be able to do yoga nidra properly and be able to hold your attention on the desired imaginal act. That's how you gain freedom from panic attacks. Now, if you want one-to-one online personalized coaching from me, then message me on my Gmail or my WhatsApp, which are linked in the description box down below and the pinned comment section down below. Remember, sky is the limit once you truly know how to do yoga nidra correctly, how to imagine correctly, and how to embrace the imaginal act emotionally. Subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.